जय गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचार यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all for joining. So we're reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 13, the nature, the enjoyer, and the consciousness. So I think today we are reading from verse number 25. If I'm not, yeah, 25. We will start with the prayers, devotees, and then we'll continue.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, today will be 26 Prabhu.
26 is it? Oh, okay, okay. So I think Subal Prabhu was mentioning 25. So 25 we completed already. Okay. So is it okay? Sure.
Yes, yes Prabhu, 26. Today will start 26.
26. Okay, sure, Mataji. Yeah. Right, devotee. So we'll start with the prayers. I have my office laptop today, so I don't have to share, but we can do it together. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva chah Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desadarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Sikshashtamekam Purusha Puranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sariradari Krupam Mudittamaham Prapadye Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langete girum yatkrupatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Shri Paramanandamavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let me share my screen here. So verse number 25, 26. So we'll start the verse recitation and then we'll take turns, devotees. अन्ये त्वप् एवम् अजानन्तः श्रुत्वान्येभ्य उपासते ते अपि चैति तरन्ति एव मृत्युं श्रुति पारायणः. Yeah, anyone else would like to recite devotees?
I can read Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. अन्ये तो एवं अज्ञानता श्रुत वर्णभे उपासते ते ओपि जातितरन्ति एव मृत्युं श्रुति परायणा. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
I can
Anyone
also-
else devotees?
I can try, Prabhuji. अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः श्रुत्वान्येभ्य उपासते तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणा. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Yeah, anyone else devotees?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, and I'll also try. Anye tva evam ajananta shrutvānebhya upāsate tepi chātirāvtīva mrityum shruti parayanaha. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. Anyone else devotees?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can try. अन्येत एवम् अजानन्ता श्रुत्वान्याभिया उपासते तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युर्श्रुतिपरायणः. Back to Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So let's read synonyms and translations, devotees. Anyone would like to read synonyms and translation?
I can read, Prabhuji. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Mataji, please go ahead.
Okay, Prabhuji. Anye, others. Tu, but. Evam, thus. Ajnantah, without spiritual knowledge. Shutva, by hearing. Anyebhya, from others. Upasate, begin to worship. Te, they. Api, also. Cha, and. Atitaranti, transcend. Eva, certainly. Mrityum, the path of death. Shruti parayanaha, inclined to the process of hearing. Translation by Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So we have one paragraph purport. Yeah, let's see. Anyone else would like to read the purport, devotees?
I can continue if you like, Prabhuji, or Prabhuji, if you would like to
Yes.
continue.
Yes, Mataji, I can read.
Sure. Hare Krishna.
Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This verse is particularly applicable to modern society because in modern society, there is practically no education in spiritual matters. Some of the people may appear to be atheistic or agnostic or philosophical, but actually there is no knowledge of the philosophy. As for the common man, if he is a good soul, then there is a chance for advancement by hearing. This hearing process is very important. Lord Chaitanya, who preached Krishna consciousness in the modern world, gave great stress to hearing, because if the common man simply hears from authoritative sources, he can progress, especially according to Lord Chaitanya. If he hears the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, it is stated, therefore, that all men should take advantage of hearing from realized souls and gradually become able to understand everything. The worship of the Supreme Lord will then undoubtedly take place. Lord Chaitanya has said that in this age, no one needs to change his position, but one should give up the endeavor to understand the absolute truth by speculative reasoning. One should learn to become the servant of those who are in knowledge of the Supreme Lord. If one is fortunate enough to take the shelter of a pure devotee, hear from him about self realization, and follow in his footsteps, one will be gradually elevated to the position of a pure devotee. In this verse, particularly, the process of hearing is strongly recommended, and this is very appropriate. Although the common man is often not as capable as so called philosophers, faithful hearing from an authoritative person will help one transcend this material existence and go back to the Godhead, back to home. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Oh, thank you, Baldev Prabhu. So I'm seeing the next verse. Okay, so small verse. We can also read that. So we'll discuss both verses together. We'll also read the next verse, devotees. यावत् सञ्जायते किञ्चित् सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमं क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभा. Yeah, let's see if anyone would like to recite devotees.
Yeah, I can I can try for you. Yavat sanjayate kinchit sattvam stavar jangamam kshetra kshetrajna samyogat tadvidi bharatar sabha. Hare Krishna, back to you.
Yeah. Anyone else, devotees?
I can read Prabhuji. Text 27. यावत् सञ्जायते किञ्चित् सत्त्वं स्थावरयङ्गमं क्षेत्राक्षेत्राज्ञसंयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतार्षभा.
Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else, devotees, would like to try?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I will also try. Hare Krishna devotees, and Pranam all Krishna Shri Prabhupada. यावत् सञ्जायते किञ्चित् सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमं क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगात् तद्विद्धि भारतर्षभा. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I can try, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yavat sanjayate kinchit sattam sthavar jangamam kshetro kshetrogya samyogat tadviddhi bharata sarva.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Anyone else, devotees?
I can try, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
यावत् सञ्जायते किञ्चित् सत्त्वं स्थावरं जङ्गमं क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगा तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Let's read synonyms and translation, devotees. Anyone would like to read?
I can read, Prabhuji. If there's anybody else who would like to go, please go in.
Yeah, I can read.
Hare Krishna.
Synonyms. Yavat, whatever. Sanjayate comes into being. Kinchit, anything. Sattva, existence. Stavara, not moving. Jangamam, moving. Kshetra of the body. Kshetrajna, and the knower of the body. Samyogat, by the union between. Tadvidi, you must know it. Bharata Shabha, O chief of the Bharata. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. O chief of the Bharata, Know that whatever you see in existence, both the moving and non-moving, is only a combination of the field of activities and the knower of the field. Should I continue with the purport?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Okay. Both material nature and the living entity which were existing before the creation of the cosmos are explained in this verse. Whatever is created is but a combination of the living entity and material nature. There are many manifestations like trees, mountains, and hills which are not moving, and there are many existences which are moving, and all of them are but combinations of material nature and the superior nature, the living entity. Without the touch of the superior nature, the living entity, nothing can grow. The relationship between material nature and spiritual nature is eternally going on, and this combination is affected by the Supreme Lord. Therefore, he is the controller of both the superior and inferior natures. The material nature is created by him, and the superior nature is placed in this material nature, and thus all these activities and manifestations take place.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you, Raghu Prabhu. Any thoughts you'd like to share, Prabhuji?
Okay, so this verse is different from the previous verse we read, so I'll just they're two different.
Right.
Here, yeah. Okay, so anyway, so I'll just talk about this a little bit. So what uh, Krishna is saying is that everything that we see in existence is a combination of the field of activities, Kshetra and the Kshetrajna. So it's really uh, a combination of his superior energy and inferior energy. The inferior energy being the material nature, and the superior energy being the living entity or the soul. And the material nature by itself cannot cannot do anything. It's only when it's infused with the uh, uh, actions by the uh, superior energy, then it comes into being. So that is the relationship between the material nature and spiritual nature, and this is always going on. Just as similar to uh, a, a man and a woman, and the man when he gives the semen, the soul is actually getting into the womb, and uh, and then the uh, human being is created. So without the soul being active, the uh, the superior nature, the inferior nature by itself is really no use. It's a dead matter. So that's what I understand from this.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Raghu Prabhuji. Thank you. So very nice thoughts. So I just want to go back to the previous verse. Baldev Prabhu, any thoughts you would like to share on the previous verse, and then we'll discuss together.
Sure, thank you. So, Prabhuji, this is the glorifying the process of Shravanam. We know 9 processes that starts with Shravanam. So, if we don't hear, we'll be stuck there. Hearing actually keep us alive, and that's why we have so many classes. In the morning, we have a class, and then in the evening, devotees takes classes on the Gita, and we also hear the lectures or classes from our Guru Maharaj online and other senior devotees. So, and also from when we meet each other, sometimes we give reference from our sources. That's also hearing. So hearing is the main life air for a devotee's growth. So once hearing stop, the growth in bhakti will also stop. Maybe fall back. But if you keep hearing, then our bhakti will remain steadfast. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Prabhuji. So Shravanam, this emphasis is on the Shravanam. So we'll just discuss these two verses, devotees, and then we'll have a discussion. So in this chapter, like the Bhagavad Gita is divided into Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. 6 chapters. The first 6 chapters is predominantly Karma Yoga. Even though there is Jnana involved, there is Bhakti involved, but predominantly Karma Yoga. And then the middle 6 chapters from 7 to 12 is Bhakti Yoga. So now we are entering into the 13th chapter, which is basically the Jnana Yoga, predominantly Jnana Yoga. So what is the Jnana Yoga? It's connecting to Krishna through the process of knowledge, through the process of analytical knowledge. Analytics means number, right? So that's why we saw the number last time. We saw counted the elements, 24 elements, and then the 5 desire, hatred, and the combination. So we are counting basically one by one all the elements. So the analytical study is all about numbers. And when we separate, like, what is the material nature, what is the living entity, what is super soul, what is the relationship, kind of analyze everything. It is basically jnana, and through that jnana we are connecting with Krishna, right? So any way we connect with Krishna, it is glorious. Either you connect with Krishna through jnana, either you connect with Krishna through karma, it is glorious. But the end of the day, the bhakti you have to manifest. The bhakti manifests through karma yoga or jnana yoga. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you have bhakti, which is the most important thing, the love for Krishna, right? So there is a verse that says, आराधित पतहरि तपसा तितिक्यम ना आराधित पतहरि तपसा तितिक्यम अंतर्बहिर पतहरि तपसा तितिक्यम ना अंतर्बहिर पदहरि tapasa titikam. So basically, the verse is saying that aradita padahari tapasa titikam. So your tapasya means austerities, titiksha means like tolerance. Through so much austerities, so much tolerance, but then so the verse is saying, what is the use of all these austerities and sacrifices and tolerance, because you already reached the bhakti, you're already actually worshipping the Lord Hari, so there is no need for that. And then the verse goes the opposite also. What is the use of all these austerities and sacrifices and tolerance, because you have not developed the bhakti yet. So basically, bhakti is the essence. We are trying to achieve it through all the processes, right? So here in this, if you look at this chapter, Arjuna is asking a question. What is this? What is that? What is that? What is the relationship? All this, what is knowledge? Who is the object of knowledge? What is material nature? What is the field of activities? Who is the knower of the field? All of this, if you look at it, it's jnana. Basically, is churning the topic of jnana. He's just kindling what is all these elements and what is the relationship, who is the object of the knowledge. So he's trying to bring Krishna into the picture, and also trying to understand how everything is related to Krishna, right? So that is what Krishna is also explaining to Arjuna. So if you look at this verse, that previously Krishna explained the material nature. What is the material nature? He explained that how the material nature is connected, to Krishna through the process of understanding how the every living entity is connected to material nature. So like that, now in this verse, now Krishna is trying to explain something unique. Like Krishna is saying that the material nature in on all of this knowledge, whatever I told you, Arjuna, all of this knowledge is nice, but then what about those people who cannot actually very conversant in philosophical knowledge? Like, what about those people who are not jnanis, right? They are not inclined to understand philosophy. What about those people? Now Krishna is giving the answer for that also. He's saying, Srutva Anyebhya, like Anyebhya means others. So Srutva means hearing. So those who are not inclined philosophically, jnana, so like some people are not inclined to philosophy. They say it's boring. For them, they can just sit in the assembly of devotees and then they can hear about Krishna when somebody is speaking. So it's very easy to actually hear rather than reading books, right? Reading books is much more intense than hearing. Hearing is a very simple, because you don't even have to open your ears. Your ears are already open. So both ears are open for a reason. You can hear the knowledge that is just coming through oral reception, and then you can understand by just putting your consciousness into it. So that is why it's very basically a simple process, but it's very sublime. So here it's the word Shruti Parayanaha, like, so Parayanaha, like we say this, whenever there is a Krishna Katha going on, there is a Parayana going on. Would you like to come? They will ask. So Shruti Parayana is those who are actually inclined to hear by the Shruti, whatever the speech, the Katha that is going on. So if you go to India, this is a normal practice, like time immemorial. There will be a katha going on. One saint will come, he'll sit on the banyan tree, and then the common people, the villagers would come and sit. They will just listen. They're simple, common people who are not inclined to philosophy, but when they hear from the devotee's mouth, and they actually get really interested into knowing about Krishna. Oh, Krishna is like this. He did pastimes like this, like that. They slowly they started understanding about Krishna. So now Krishna is saying, even you don't have to be a very jnani who is very much inclined to philosophy, but you just have to give your oral reception to the speeches about Krishna. So this is what we are doing also. We are reading Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna spoke, and I'm also sharing my knowledge, and devotees also share. When we hear that, we are basically understanding spiritual knowledge. So even though we may not be inclined, but when we hear oral reception, we'll automatically be inclined. So one time Prabhupada, he was in Vrindavan. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj was giving the class. Most of the devotees were not there in the class. They were actually going around seeing the Vrajabhumi places. They were in a spiritual tour, but when the class is going on, they are also interested to see the places they were going around. But Prabhupada actually made it a point to sit in the class and listen. So that time Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj said, you are actually a good listener, which is very good quality, and he was appreciating that. That was the first, I think the first time when Prabhupada did not get he wasn't initiated that time. He was just giving oral reception, and his Guru Maharaj, who's in the future, he will take Diksha, he was appreciating that quality. So, and then later on, Prabhupada understood actually how important is to listen very, very attentively in the class, that giving the oral reception to Krishna Katha is so important. And he told the same story to his disciples also, right? So, if you look at the Baldev Prabhu is sharing that Navavida Bhakti, the Prahlad Maharaj is sharing in that past, glorification of the Lord. So when Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad Maharaj, what is the best thing that you have learned? Then he says that actually Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam Vandanam, Padasevanam, Dashyam, Sakyam, Matma Nivedanam. So like this 9 processes of bhakti, one who actually takes bhakti through these 9 processes, he says they are very glorified. So like that, the Shravanam comes the first point, like the Shravanam, and then Kirtanam, like, we hear, and then after we hear, we try to vibrate the same sound vibration, right? When we hear, and then it goes inside, and then we vibrate through our tongue. So, and then Vishnu Smaranam, like, so once we hear, once we are able to vibrate, then we are able to remember, Smaranam, Vishnu Smaranam. Then we were able to do the other, gradually we can worship Krishna, and then we can actually serve his lotus feet. Like gradually it goes on and on and on. But the beginning is the Shravanam, that Shravanam is so important, that bhakti is considered like a creeper, so like if you look at a creeper, the plant, it always needs shelter, it has to catch hold of something, and then it gradually grows. Right. So the bhakti, in order for the creeper to grow, there are 2 things that is required: Shravanam and Kirtanam. So the Shravanam is the hearing, and the Kirtanam is chanting. Chanting is also the holy name, chanting of the holy name, and chanting of the Krishna's pastimes, glorification. That is also called chanting. So these 2 are like watering the creeper. And then the more you water the creeper, then the creeper starts growing, growing, growing. and then it catches hold of the, finally it enters, penetrates into Goloka Vrindavan, and then it catches hold of the lotus feet of Krishna. And after that, it starts producing the fruits and flowers. So this is the way the devotees explain the bhakti creeper is like that. So anytime we stop watering, what happens? The creeper dries. So the Shravanam and Kirtanam is basically the watering process. We keep on watering every day Shravanam Kirtanam, the creeper will grow until the point of penetrating into Vaikunta Goloka Vrindavan. So that is the power of this Shravanam Kirtanam. So that is why Prabhupada was actually a mastermind. Even in the age of Kali, he know that our memory is very short, our absorption is very short. So even from the day one, he started recording all his classes. Even there is no audience, he would record his classes because he knows in the future that devotees can take benefit by hearing all of his recordings. Right now, all of his recordings are so intact because it was masterminded by Prabhupada himself. Even the entire purport, the Bhagavad Gita introduction, was actually recorded by Prabhupada when no one turned up for the class, and then he just spoke the whole class and recorded. Later on, that became the introduction of the Bhagavad Gita book itself. So we can understand he was able to foresee all of this, that how hearing is so important, and he wanted to give his personal association through his hearing. So Prabhupada always used to say, you read my books, you hear my lectures, I'm actually personally guiding you through that. You don't have to actually come and ask for personal instruction, right? So that is the power of potency of hearing. And then the transcendental vibration, Prabhupada says that we can easily, when we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, this transcendental sound vibration, we are also hearing, right? So that is why the Shravanam and the Kirtanam has two benefits. Kirtanam has a benefit of we are actually speaking and we are also hearing both. So it gets a double benefit. But then in order to do Kirtanam, we have to first do Shravanam. So we have to hear from authoritative sources, when from Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada disciples, and by reading his books, then we can actually speak something of value, and then we can also get benefited. So when we speak, it requires a lot of ability to remember, right? So when we speak, actually, we are able to remember. So because when we are speaking something, we have to recollect, and then that recollection is basically becomes intense, that becomes a remembrance. So that is why the perfect example is Sukadeva Goswami. So the Sukadeva Goswami heard from Vyasadeva. He heard the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, and then after hearing, he contemplated, he assimilated, he actually, brought that topic and churned it again, again. He assimilated, and he became self-realized. And then he was able to speak in front of Parishit Maharaj. And when he was speaking, that knowledge penetrated into the hearts because he already learned it from Vyasadeva. He heard from Vyasadeva. So he was a perfect example. Parikshit Maharaj was perfect example of hearing from the authoritative source. And Sukadeva Goswami is a perfect example of Kirtanam, right? Shravanam and Kirtanam. So they both are a proper complement. Like one person is so eager to listen, another person is so eager to speak. They become a perfect complement. So in the temple also, when Krishna Katha was going on, if the devotees were so eager to learn, then the speaker also can actually speak so much intense katha. So there has to be a combination of speaker and hearer. Both has to be a good combination. Then the topic goes on churning and really nice. So then Prabhupada gives one example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going in his South India tour, he actually meets one Brahmana, I think Kurma Brahmana, I believe. So that Brahmana, he got so much attracted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, I want to leave everything and I want to come with you, Mahaprabhu. I want to travel with you. I want to be with you, like that he was saying. And then Mahaprabhu said, no, no, no. Sthane sthita shrutigana tanovi. Like he was saying, just stay in this place. And then you keep hearing about Krishna's topics, Krishna Katha, and Krishna's glorification, Krishna's pastimes. And then you develop the taste for Krishna, and then you chant about Krishna, you preach about Krishna. So he did not actually encourage him to leave and then his position, his place, and to travel with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That was one of the very famous instruction that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave. And Prabhupada also many times he quoted, by changing our place, circumstances, and position, we may feel some enthusiasm for some time, but then it will dry up because if we don't cultivate the process of hearing continuously, just by changing a place, we cannot change our consciousness, right? So the consciousness can be changed by hearing about Krishna constantly, continuously, like every day, morning and evening, like Prabhuji was saying. By hearing about Krishna without changing our place, our location, our job, we can come to a certain consciousness, elevated consciousness. And at that elevated consciousness, wherever we go, we'll be Krishna's devotees. But then prematurely, if we go from one place to another place thinking I'll be a devotee over there, it may not actually last longer, because the prime thing is hearing about Krishna and chanting about Krishna. That is the watering process. Wherever you go, that watering process has to be there. So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, don't change your circumstance, but you change your consciousness. You change your, the way you live, your activities. You always hear about Krishna. That was the emphasis that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, and that is what Srila Prabhupada is also emphasizing here. So here it says clearly, Lord Chaitanya said in the age Kali, no one needs to change his position, but one should give up the endeavor to understand by speculative reasoning. So speculative reasoning means by using our mental power, by the power of mind, power of intelligence to understand Krishna. It is basically not possible, because Krishna is beyond our ability to comprehend. So in the Brahma Samhita, Brahma says, uh, so he says that Vayor api. So even if you go in the speed of the air, Muni Pungavanam, even if you go in the speed of the sage's mind, then also you will not be able to comprehend the Lord. That's what Brahmaji says, because the Lord is beyond our comprehension. So, but we can understand Lord by His own explanation in Bhagavad Gita, by His own explanation in Srimad Bhagavatam. He Himself says, "I am like this, I am like this," and devotees also explain by realizing about Krishna, He is like that. So that by that explanation, we should be able to understand about Krishna, because Krishna is achintya, I mean, is inconceivable. How can you conceive something which is inconceivable? By his own explanations, right? By Krishna's own explanations and by revelation. Like Christianity also, they say revelation, right? So revelation is by our service attitude, we can actually be revealed. Within the heart, Krishna can be revealed. That is why we call self-realization. We cannot make somebody understand unless he puts his own effort to understand Krishna. So that is why Prabhupada is emphasizing how so much importance for Shravanam. So although the common man is often not as capable as so-called philosophers, faithful hearing from authoritative person will help one transcend this material existence. So common man is not a philosopher, he is not a yogi or jnani, but still he can also transcend this material existence and go back to Krishna is by a simple process of hearing. This is so much important that any amount of emphasis is not enough for this. And then the next verse, this is like one section Krishna is concluding now. So he's concluding that how all of this knowledge Krishna is giving, like what is the relationship between field of activities, the knowable and the knowledge, and all of that Krishna is giving. And finally, he's saying, you don't have to be a jnani, Arjuna. You just have to hear about me from authoritative source. He's trying to cool down somebody who's saying that I'm not a jnani to understand the empirical knowledge, philosophical knowledge. All that is fine. Just simply hear about Krishna from authoritative source. And then after that, now in the 27th verse, another section is starting. So in that section, Krishna is kind of concluding the whole points to Arjuna. Now he's saying Stavara and Jangama, like Stavara is moving and Jangama is like Stavara is not moving, and Jangama means moving. So in the material world, everything we see, something is moving, something is not moving, and that which is moving is being pushed by that which is actually called spirit. Like the matter is being pushed by spirit. So the car is moving, the driver is pushing the car to move, right? Is only pushing the button. Sometimes it moves, sometimes he has to start the engine, whatever it is, but there is a spirit that is behind something is moving. So that is the point that we have to understand. And Prabhuji gave a wonderful example of the spirit, the soul entering into the mother's womb, and then the body starts growing. So Prabhupada had an elaborate discussion about the abortion with many of his disciples. So his disciple used to argue with Prabhupada basically to understand. Prabhupada used to tell his disciples, okay, now put an argument against this. Then the disciples would say, and then Prabhupada used to counter that argument. Like that, there were several discussions on this topic of abortion. So nowadays, if you look at the conservatives and liberals, they always fight about this abortion, and they say the living entity only starts after the 4 or 5 weeks of in the mother's womb. But then this the knowledge that we have from Srimad Bhagavatam says that the moment the semen is injected and the moment is actually the egg jaw combines, from that moment onwards the living entity is there and it is growing, but the spirit is there, the soul is there. So as soon as that formation happens, but the material element, like the instruments they have, whatever instruments, it may find it out at 4th week or 5th week, but it doesn't matter. The moment you see the heartbeat, they see there is a living entity, right? The medical science. But even before that heartbeat, there is actually a soul, because the heartbeat is formed. The heart is also a flesh that gets formed, right? It's just the body. The heart, the Bhagavatam says it's a pea-like shaped. It starts growing, 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 and then all the 9 holes is formed, and the 9 holes, and then the heart, lungs, and everything else, then the genitals. Like the whole body is forming on top of the soul. The soul is the spirit. If there is no spirit, the body cannot grow, because it's basically a dead body, right? Sometimes Prabhupada used to actually, the disciple used to, sometimes when the baby comes out, it comes out dead. So, like the dead baby and the living baby, what is the difference? The difference is a soul, right? So you cannot actually bring back the dead baby again alive, because the soul is already left. So the most important thing within the body, that the moving thing is spirit and the matter, both combined together, the whole creation is existing. That's what here Krishna is trying to explain. Kshetra and Kshetrajna is basically, we can look at the whole creation as just a combination of Kshetra and Kshetrajna. So that is what, in summary, Krishna is just trying to give in the last section, and then he's going to continue about how the individual soul in all bodies, how the difference between soul and super soul, Krishna is going to continue in the future verses. But now this is a new section that's starting from verse number 27. So I think in these two verses we can basically, Krishna wants to emphasize on the jnana as well as the bhakti through the hearing. That is the most important thing Krishna is emphasizing. So Hare Krishna devotees, we have few more minutes. We can discuss this two verses and see if there are any churning that we can do.
Rupaji, I have a question. So, in all of these, we say bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, karma yoga, everything, right? So, how will somebody know when that yoga is established or it is not?
Yes, Mataji. So um, there is always an element of bhakti mix. Predominantly you're connecting Krishna through jnana, that's jnana yoga. Predominantly you're connecting through karma, that's karma yoga. But then, so when, for example, how will you distinguish how will you understand this is karma yoga, this is jnana yoga, or this is bhakti yoga? Is that your question, Mataji?
No, Prabhuji. So, like, I understand the difference between the three paths, but my question is like, so we are trying to connect, right? Like, the yoga will be established at some point, right?
Mhm.
So, when that happens, how will the devotee know?
How will the devotee know that I'm actually connected to Krishna?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Good question. So the process of bhakti is very defined process. Even though it is, love cannot be defined in any words, but then Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita just guides us towards very defined process. For example, chanting. So to connect with Krishna, there are 9 ways that we can connect. So like Prahlad Maharaj is explaining, Navaveda Bhakti, right? So Shravanam Kirtanam, these are 9 ways. These are actually tested and proved principles, which always works. So through this you can connect with Krishna no matter what. But then your question is more of internal. One has to always introspect. So I can cheat myself saying I'm doing bhakti, but I'm not really trying to sincerely cultivating. But I have to introspect by sadhu, shastra, guru. Like there are 3 scales that we can actually use. Through sadhus, we can actually see, okay, is my lifestyle is aligned with the sadhu lifestyle? Is my following is aligned with the teachings of shastra? Is my following is aligned with the teachings of guru? So if these 3 measurements, if we can introspect and see, am I aligning with all these 3 in a straight line, or am I deviating these some of the principles? Then if you're aligning your principles, you're actually going in the right direction. It's a matter of time that you will realize in Krishna in fullest extent. Even if you realize little bit also, that will give you impetus to go forward. We are all trying to realize Krishna. That is our goal. Understand Krishna. I may have realized 1%, somebody might have realized 10%, 20%. Whatever percentage they've realized about Krishna, that is giving this some hope that okay, actually Krishna is real. Krishna is a factual. The existence of devotees is factual. The creation is factual. Whatever is happening is Bhagavad Gita is actually true. Like that, we may get some realization every day. So through that realization, we move forward. We move forward. Every day, some realization will come, and ultimately, our goal is to realize Krishna to the fullest extent possible. Even if you realize Krishna a very small percentage, that itself is a great achievement, because nobody can realize Krishna to the fullest extent because he is unlimited. So we are very limited. But to the extent we are able to understand Krishna, that itself is glorified. So somebody can sit in the kirtan, and at the end of the kirtan, they say, I really like the devotees enjoying the kirtan. I really relished it. That feeling itself is enough for them. That is a good realization. Prasadam is really tasty, and that's a good realization actually. Because they go to different restaurants, and then the prasadam they appreciate. Prasadam is not different than Krishna, and really prasadam is very delicious. It's very tasty. This is something out of the ordinary. That is also good realization. So like that, there are different ways we can realize Krishna: through prasadam, through holy name, kirtan, through hearing his pastimes. And gradually, when we come to the point that, there is called uh, the Shraddha faith, they say Shudrada Nischaya. There is a verse that said actually that one actually absolute faith in Krishna, that everything will happen automatically if I do bhakti. That like Bhagavad devotees, they have such kind of faith. So one day we will be able to reach that kind of faith where we will feel that if I do bhakti, everything else will be automatically taken care of. I don't have to worry about anything else. So when we get to that state, we are actually understood Krishna. But till that point, we are all basically, everyone is growing to the extent we are putting our efforts.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for explaining.
I don't know if I explained it in the way your question. I understood your question in this way. I'm sorry if
Yes, Prabhuji. No. It is helpful, Prabhuji. Like basically, like it seems like there's no like end to that really. Like, however much we do, we have to like keep growing. It's not that okay, like, if this happens, there's magic. It's like it's just a process, the journey itself. That is.
Right, right. It's Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. If I ask you how much happiness you want, you won't say like a limit, right? You want always increase your happiness.
Correct. Yes.
So even in the material world also, how much wealth you want, there is no limit to the wealth people want. They want
Right.
billionaire, trillionaire, they want islands. It is exactly opposite to that. It is purely spiritual. And the material, there is always a limit. Beyond that, they feel frustrated. But in the spiritual happiness, even if you go to spiritual world also, the happiness keeps growing based on what we understand. And there is always increasing happiness. That's called Vardhanam. Like Vardhana means it's overflowing. It's like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for explaining.
But I'm speaking theoretical, Mataji.
No,
But
Prabhuji, it's
but
helpful.
there is truth in it. You can contemplate and understand.
Definitely. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Hare Krishna. Any other thoughts, devotees?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, very wonderfully explained, Prabhuji. Especially as we, mentioned, like, there are various paths to reach Krishna, as you mentioned, like, through some pursue through meditation, dhyana yoga, some pursue using, knowledge, Sankhya yoga. Even those are, and some of them doing karma yoga, fruitive desire. But these are all authorized, as you mentioned. But in this Kali Yuga, it is very difficult through those processes. And Krishna also explains, and like hundreds of thousands of years meditating, or dhyana, or doing austerities like hundreds and thousands of years. All these are not very practical. But the easiest way is to surrender onto Krishna, faithful in spiritual life. Then easily we can, reach him. In this, Prabhupada says that in this very life we can reach if we completely surrender for one moment. Of course, one moment we surrender, and then we have to, so that's how Prabhupada disciples, he has come here to US. They were all hippies and they became happies. They completely surrendered. They were eating meat, wine, drugs, all those things, but they completely transformed. Even I'm talking for myself, been in so-called Krishna consciousness for almost more than 10, 15 years, right? But that kind of surrender is not there. uh, how they surrendered fully. So that way we can see that we, and also bhakti is the easiest and the best path to understand this science. And because of course, it is very difficult for us to even, this 13th chapter itself is very technical. I cannot understand. But one thing is, Krishna, Srila Prabhupada has given the bhakti in every chapter. In fact, in every, shloka, or, the part, bhakti factor comes. So just by hearing with faith from authority, Guru Sadhu Shastra, we can easily reach. That's my understanding. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Subal Prabhu. You're already surrendered. I think for all of us, you're giving instruction. Thank you. Uh, only a surrendered soul like you can dedicatedly distribute books, very consistently. It's very difficult. Book distribution is a very high sadhana. So anyone who does book distribution, they are very dear to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any other thoughts, devotees?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, yes, very nicely explained. Very nice discussion, Prabhu. Just hearing about, as you mentioned, that hearing is the most important. That Prahlad Maharaj says in 9 process of bhakti, devotional service, and hearing is the first one. And his Grace Pran Govinda Prabhuji in his class, he says that attentive listening is very important when you are here. Be attentive. When you are attentive, then whatever you are hearing, it will go to your ear. From the ear, it will go to your heart, and from the heart, it will go to the brain, and then it will stay in. Otherwise, you will forget. So, Prabhuji, so what I notice is like for I get distracted after maybe 40 minutes or something in 1 hour class, and so that's what I had to work on it, Prabhuji, so that I can get more I pay more attention in the class and try to listen whatever. Yeah, it's important, very important, Prabhuji. That's what I just like to add here. And also for
Thank you, Bhashwati Mataji. Yes, yes.
and for the Prabhuji, for the devotional service, it's the best one. Our devotee always thinks about how to make their life Krishna conscious, and in each and every activities they do. I mean, who are the serious devotee, they always counteract that one with the material activities, like how to make that one everything spiritual. So that's the difference between the devotee and the atheist, Prabhuji. So, and with that Mahaprabhu says that Chetu Darpana Marjana, with um, process of devotional service, like every day the devotee progresses slowly in the path of devotional service, and with continuous devotional service only it is possibility to clean our heart, and then that way a devotee will be able to purify themselves um, day by day by practicing this devotional service. So that's why it is so important. The devotional service is the topmost among all the other yogas, Prabhuji. That's what I would like to add. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhashwati Mataji, for emphasizing on the oral reception. Hearing is so important. Yeah, 45 minutes or 1 hour. The absorption we can see for ourselves. Everyone's absorption is different, so we can see for ourselves how much absorption that we have. It's all we can test ourselves. How much time we are able to hear Srila Prabhupada lectures, we are able to sit in the classes. Some devotees are actually, I've seen one, my Guru Maharaj, Rompal Swami Maharaj, he initiated very young disciple. He was only 7 or maybe 10 years old or 11 years, I guess. I was traveling with his family. I was jokingly asking him, and then his father told that actually he's chanting 16 rounds, he's initiated. He was always sitting in the front of the class, and and he was very interesting because some children have a very good oral reception, and they are very young, but they're still in the front of the class without playful thoughts, and the classes goes beyond 1 hour, they actually sit quietly, which is quite a lot for a children. What to speak of grown-ups, we are not able to actually focus, but children, we can see they are devotees from previous lives. They're very specially gifted devotees. Yeah, but we can see our absorption, how much is our absorption. Thank you for sharing, Mataji. I think that's 902 devotees. Anyone else would like to share anything?
Is it Padma Priya? Who is Padma Priya, Mataji?
Gaurapriya Mataji, actually.
Oh, it's Gauri Priya Mataji.
Yeah.
We should sing, Mataji.
Yes,
for
happy
Prabhuji and
anniversary
Mataji.
to both of Krishna conscious anniversary to Prabhuji and Mataji.
Thank you so much, devotees.
Thank you,
So
Mataji.
actually,
Mataji, please sing Mataji with your beautiful melodious voice.
me, you're asking me, Prabhuji.
No, Bhashwati Mataji.
Our Baswati
Oh,
Mataji will sing.
Yes,
Of
yeah,
course, you will also sing Mataji.
yeah. But Mataji, are you like is Prabhuji is not out of town today?
yeah, he's in Maryland. I'm here in Florida.
But
Okay.
eternally connected.
No, you are eternal.
Internally connected, yes.
Yeah, actually, I was telling Sudhir Prabhu, he actually forgot our anniversary. We both were talking over the phone. He was sending the message. So then both of us saw the message and like, oh, really? Today is our anniversary. We actually forgot. And, and devotees wish and it's so nice. Actually, we feel fortunate. Through devotees, we are relishing our marriage day, our anniversary.
Mataji and
Mataji,
Prabhuji.
Mataji, it's common. It's
No,
not.
Yeah, it's
Mataji,
common in
Prabhuji.
every family, not only our family.
Gosh, if
Mataji,
one
Mataji,
would
Prabhuji, you
forget,
need
then
counseling. You need counseling.
Counseling?
Mataji and Prabhuji are so detached from material, so they are only remember, our Krishna's
Sorry,
celebration.
Prabhuji, too much details. Counseling needed.
No, I didn't forget, Broji.
That's okay. Then
He
I'm happy.
remembered 2 days back, it seems, but today he forgot.
I'm not gonna make that mistake again. I never forget.
Prabhuji is so smart.
Really, okay, I'll keep this in mind for next anniversary.
Or otherwise, tell Master TG. He will remember.
Oh, you know his YouTube channel too, Mataji.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So, okay, Babuji, now I'm singing Happy Krishna Conscious Anniversary to both of you. You are very wonderful couple, Mataji and Prabhuji. Yeah, thanks for all your service. So this is
Thank you
different
so much,
tune for
Mataji.
anniversary. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. May Prabhupada bless you. May Prabhupada bless you. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Rama to you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Stay blessed, Mataji.
Thank you so much, all devotees. Thank you,
Hari
Mataji,
bol, Hari
for
bol.
your sweet voice.
Either here I'm with the Jagdish. Here he's a Pujari's son. He was mesmerized by your voice, Mataji.
Very good. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji, for your wonderful seva. Prabhuji's the beautiful kirtans, Aarti seva, and Bhagavad Gita seva. And Mataji is so determined to get a center, a temple for our, ISKCON Tampa.
Yeah,
So,
2026 we are getting Prabhuji.
yes.
And Shul Prabhuji is getting sleepless nights for Mataji only.
Hari bol, Hari bol.
So
Looking
Mataji,
forward every
really,
day, Mataji.
yeah, Mataji is working very hard, Mataji.
No,
Uh,
all of us, Prabhuji, you
yeah.
also,
I mean,
all of us putting so much effort.
you are doing 90% and we are all together doing 10%.
No, Prabhuji, all of
Mataji,
us.
you should supply some prasadam to Shul Prabhuji.
Prasadam, yeah, definitely, Prabhuji. I can give
Cake
feast.
prasadam.
Huh?
We'll have cake prasadam for your anniversary, Mataji, next time.
Well,
Actually,
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I am thankful always because they have helped me a lot to see God in all programs.
no, Hare
They
Krishna,
have
Prabhuji.
Hari bol.
the Krishnadas Prabhuji, Mataji.
So is
Dandavad
Prabhu
Pranam.
back this Saturday or still will be in Baltimore, Prabhu?
He's coming next Friday only.
Friday, Mataji.
Friday. So Saturday we'll meet. We'll celebrate Prabhuji's.
This Friday.
Prabhuji
No,
and
no,
Mataji
next
anniversary.
Friday only is coming, not this Friday.
Oh,
He's-
not this Friday.
He's
Prabhuji?
for 2 weeks this time.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So
Prabhuji.
he's a snow lover.
Snow lover, yeah, he's enjoying snow.
Doesn't want to miss this opportunity.
20 inches, Prabhu.
20 inches. Oh,
Oh,
my.
wow.
Yeah, Prabhuji, New Brindaban, no current, So
Oh,
there was 6 feet snow, minus 4-5 degree, no
oh,
electricity.
Wow.
Actually, Sridhama Prabhu also.
yeah,
is
we
there.
have to be here to really cultivate Krishna consciousness in the snow.
Or Sridham Prabhu is here. Prabhuji, you want to say something to the newly married couple?
He already wished us, Prabhuji, so yeah.
Oh,
What
Thank you
I-
so much.
Hare Krishna, what I told Mataji was that she said that I forgot that, she forgot that it was their wedding anniversary. I said that for an elevated Grasta devotees, every day is an anniversary, every
Haribo.
moment. So you don't have to really remember one particular day. But you both are wonderful devotees. Haribol to you. And they both have a lot of big aspiration for ISKCON temple and center and so on. So I'm sure Srila Prabhupada will bless us.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Now I remember one thing, Prabhuji. Actually, sometimes, like when newly married or that time I was asking my Prabhu, like birthday comes, marriage day comes, I'll ask him, where is my gift? You're not giving gift for special day. So he used to say, every day is special. Why we have to celebrate one particular day? Every day is special, he used to say. So I'm like recollecting that when you're saying.
Yeah. Prabhuji is a
It is a Prabhu thing, Mataji. We escape like that.
Yeah.
So it's an easy way for us. We are
It's
tuned to
nice
that.
of you. You're accepting.
Prabhuji also materially elevated also.
Escaping Krishnadas Prabhuji.
Prabhuji
I will
is
come back and actually give something nice gift.
Haribo.
It's okay.
It's a surprise, Mataji.
You're itself my gift, so it's okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Haribo. Very nice.
Thank you.
Anyone wants to say anything else before we wrap up?
Happy Krishna conscious, happy wedding anniversary, Mataji and Prabhuji.
Thank you, Harini
It's so nice,
Mataji.
Prabhu.
Thank you so
And
much.
also, Prabhuji, she helped me getting the food during my eye surgery,
Mataji, that is very small.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
She
you
did
don't
it,
have to
Prabhuji. She bought the carriage to my house after I got discharged from the hospital. So she bought the food, Prabhuji. Sridham Prabhuji.
Yeah, Mataji told us that Priya Mataji helped her. Harini Mataji, yeah.
Haribo.
It's something
Very
small.
good.
You.
Hare Krishna. Happy anniversary, Prabhuji and Mataji. I just want to thank Prabhuji. You take the classes and we learn so much from you. Thank you for your service. And I always look forward to hearing these sessions that you take. Thank you.
Shalini Mataji, we look forward coming to US. Mataji.
I don't know. Whenever Krishna wants, Mataji, it's all in Krishna's hands. Thank
Oh,
you.
this is Shali Mataji. Okay. Thank you, Shali Mataji. I couldn't see the name. It says iPhone. So thank you, Shali.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shalini Mataji. I think in the interest of time, we'll conclude today's session, devotees. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyascha Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo.
Pavanebhyo.
Hare Krishna.
ISKCON temple ki jai. Sri Krishna Prabhuji ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat
Hare
Pranam
Krishna,
Prabhuji
Dandavat
and
Pranam.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Once more, congratulations, Krishnadas Prabhuji and Mataji.
Mataji.